I didn't want to come to a meeting where someone's just going to tell me, rah, 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 you're doing so good. I want someone to tell me, like, what do I need to do?
You really need to understand financial metrics and what buyers are looking for and how to create value along the way, how to build value in order to be successful.
And it's not for the faint of heart. It's a lot of work for these people, and I think Tusk has done a fantastic job presenting really the metrics of what you need to do in order to grow your practice and things you need to be aware of.
They bring a clear understanding of here's what's going on in the financial market, here's why you're not going to be able to exceed a certain level of capitalization using a local bank. Here's what's going on in operations and why your staff needs to be thinking in this mode. Here's what's going on in your financial picture and your corporate structure, and if it's not right, your ability to grow is going to be extremely limited.
I never had a group that's going to show me from afar how to manage multiple offices and really how to learn the business side of dentistry. There's a lot of office management that consulting groups can do and coaching, but I really needed something more granular, something more detailed, a roadmap, if you will.
We use Tusk as a strategic partner to provide those understanding of metrics and also advice on everything from employee retention to acquisitions, and sometimes they're just a sounding board.
You know, getting the capital that you need to grow is something that gets harder and harder as you go. Knowing which practices to buy and which ones to leave behind is hard. And I think the real challenge is that on top of doing 30 or 40 hours of dentistry in a week, you've got to do at least that much work on the business side. And that is a struggle. And if you don't have good advice, you're probably not going to be too successful just figuring it out on your own.
I think anyone who has ambition to, at some point in their career, step away from the chair, grow into multiple locations, and also think about being acquired, certainly is going to benefit from having Tusk evaluate and present some options for them and help them become laser focused on the important part of the business. I think that working with Tusk Partners has made our business much, much more profitable, and they've put a laser focus on how we're doing things.
So anybody in the start, grow, or build phase in the dental space. So if you're a one location group looking to grow to 2 locations, if you're a 5 location group looking to grow to 10, if you're 10 looking to go to 50, there's something that Tusk can offer for each one of those size groups, right?
I think anybody that's looking to add more than one dental practice should be talking to Tusk, because it's a big step and it seems easier than it is, and they really have a way of opening the dentist's eyes as to what the challenges can be, but also what the opportunities can be.
Anybody who's looking to grow, anyone who is looking to buy, and if you're looking to at some point have an exit strategy to sell, because all of those things require the same metrics, the same systems, and the same evaluation.
When you think about a solo practitioner who's not quite sure what he wants to do, whether he be just in 5 years, kind of been in practice for 10, 15 years, or somebody that's on the tail end of their career, if you're a single practitioner looking to go to 5, 10, 15 locations, obviously this is their sweet spot. But if you're a guy that's looking to go from 1 to 2, or just a guy who's trying to figure out what he has, I think Tusk has an opportunity to cater to just about anybody in the marketplace.
I think Tusk is special because I don't think there is another Tusk. I think everything that they bring to the table, I don't think there is another group that touches on all of the different dynamics that they touch on, and they really do offer the tools that you need to go back and be able to strategically grow in your practice.
I think that human capital challenges is one that if you ask me or a sole proprietor or the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, they're going to tell you that human capital is one of their biggest challenges. And so that's not one you're going to be able to avoid until you hire a great team for yourself. But you also will not be successful if you can't get some of the basic fundamentals and building blocks of growing a business in place. And that's really where I see Tusk adding a ton of value.
Be the retention of talent. They don't understand why someone won't remain a part of the great DSO model, support it, and remain employed there because they don't have a piece of the pie. It may not be the right time to give away a piece of the pie, or it may be the perfect time, but they don't know how to do it. They bounce back and forth between those two extremes. Tusk does a wonderful job at helping them think through, what do I need to be doing to keep that talent at the table?
With them. And frankly, when we get opportunities from Tusk, unlike other brokers or other firms, we really do initially view those opportunities as quality, because we know they're coming from a quality organization that has spent time doing the work of assessing both the seller's needs and the buyer's needs.
Tusk does a really good job identifying partnerships that are going to work not just financially, but also culturally, structurally. They've done a good job in matching people up in that space.
So that's one of the things that they really bring to the table that's impressive to me, is that they're spending a tremendous amount of time on the front end educating the doctors on what this process is going to be like, which really helps smooth the process out, the transition process out.
Many points in time. One, first and foremost, it was kind of just the support, having you to call, to be there, walking with me through the process. And then the key thing was helping get the purchase price up about 20% from where we started, which was very meaningful.
At some point, you're going to need an exit strategy. And if you're not moving today towards that exit strategy, even if it's 15 years out, when will you begin the process of running the best operation that you can?
And also, when we get analytics from Tusk and data sets from Tusk, it's very thorough. It's very comprehensive, and we know that it's credible, and we don't necessarily get that from the rest of the industry.
I think just honesty and really being selfless in the fact that they're telling people what the struggles are and what the challenges will be. And it would be easier for them to be self-centered and say, sure, you should add that, and let's everybody be a group practice. But I think they're as interested in talking people out of being a group practice as they are talking people into being a group practice.
Any dentist that is thinking seriously about getting into the emerging market space would benefit from partnering with Tusk. Their depth of knowledge is something that most dentists don't have by virtue of the fact that they're dentists. They're not necessarily bankers or business people or finance people. So I think anybody that's serious about getting into this space and wants to understand how to set themselves up for success, not only today, but 3-5 years down the road, really mapping out a plan of how to get from where they are to where they want to be, both entry and exit into the space.
I think anyone willing to wanting to scale their business, who has the idea that they want to they have a really good single practice and they want to move to, multiple practices, to probably have the right structure in place before actually making mistakes as they go along.
After I got out of deep dive, I was like, what hit me? Like, what just happened? Because there was so much information. It was 8 hours of it's basically a crash course in DSO building. But it was, now that I stepped back 2 days after, I realized I have all the answers now in my head, and it's just a matter of execution. So absolutely, I felt like the deep dive was what I needed. And like I said, a lot of people don't want to hear the things that you need to hear, but those are going to be the keys for you to move forward and scale.
Or if you are a dentist, that wants to start a DSO, wants to expand your business into multiple locations, I absolutely think that their advice and their expertise will be critical in avoiding a lot of very costly mistakes and really making sure that you're taking the steps you need to A, find out why are you doing it, right? Why are you even wanting to grow the business in this way? And then once you have that end goal in mind, I think they can really help you zero in on that is then how to do that, right? What is the right way to do that and the thoughtful, strategic way to grow?
I think one of the main things that's unique is they come with a collaborative team approach. Most of the brokers or buy-side advisors or sell-side advisors, what they have is really a one-track mind where they want to sell a dental practice to someone. They're not looking for the big picture. And one of the great things about Tusk is they have a collaborative team environment. So it's not just about transitioning a practice, it's more about the long picture and looking at from start to finish as to where the best opportunities are for that practice to grow and what the best road or option is for them to take.
So I think the biggest value that they bring to the table is their years of experience. I think combined they've got over 50 years of experience in the space, so that's awesome. And a breath of fresh air. They understand the market. They understand dentists at all levels. They're helpful with, a dentist who wants to maybe continue to buy practices or transition out. So I think they're very useful in all those capacities.
I know that when they send the SIM over, I can feel pretty good about the numbers that are on the page. We always are going to take our own look at it, but my experience so far has been that they're providing quality practices of people and partners that we get really excited about.
One of the main differences that Tusk brings to the table is the amount of information and the packet and the SIM that they put together for our review is fantastic, and their approach of giving us all the information on the front end to make the best informed decision is unique in the industry, where most brokers would like you to just offer something and then they'll get you the information.
The work product that they provide is very high quality. They really dive in and understand the business as well. We always have a lot of questions when we're working through these processes, and they always seem to really know and understand the business inside and out.
Well, it's been amazing working with Tusk. I think they are very knowledgeable in the marketplace. They know far more than any broker that I really am dealing with at this juncture. They package the information nicely to us. We know that we're not going to, have a deal that, isn't going to work out when Tusk brings it to us.
Their clients trust them and know that they are finding the right partners for them. And I think that they understand the unique things that their clients are looking for and try to find the best fit for them, because they want us to be happy, but also their clients to be happy 2, 3, 5 years down the road.
I think any doctor that is thinking of transitioning or thinking of growing, building or buying, or just trying to figure out what it's about should really talk to them so they can get the full scope. Because once you get the full information of what DSOs are and how they're built and all the work that goes into them, sometimes you want nothing to do with it, and that's all right. But they're very transparent and open about showing you the good, bad, and the ugly.
I think someone that they know that they can trust, that has the experience, the knowledge across a lot of different areas. That I think you see a lot out there, just brokers or advisors that are just trying to flip practices as quickly as they can. My experience so far with them is that they really care about their clients. They really want to make sure that they're providing great advice and helping them through the process, and I think that's pretty valuable.
They are very, very good at shepherding the doctor through the process and guiding them and matching the doctor with someone that they feel is going to be a good fit for them long term. And I think that's very, very valuable.
Well, first, making sure that you're getting the right value for your business. There's a lot of acronyms that get thrown out that dentists maybe have never heard of. What is EBITDA? Things like that. And so having an advisor that can make sure that you are getting great value for great businesses that these dentists have built is important. And then I think the flip side of that is helping those people find the right partners. A lot of us on deals, we're going to be pretty close in terms of how our valuations, but the thing that happens after money changes hands, you're going to be working with that group, that organization for the next 5, 10, 15 years. So making sure that you have the right partner that has the same vision and values for where you want your practice to go is very important. And I think that gets lost sometimes. I think it's easy to get caught up in the numbers, and I understand why people focus on that, but making sure that you're partnering with an organization that you really truly believe in and you know can help take you to the next level.